Hey everyone, on today's episode we're going to be making fresh pasta, so let's get started. So for the fresh pasta, it's only 2 ingredients. It's only, or I guess 3, but it's flour and egg. So what you're going to do is mix equal parts of semolina and wheat pasta, and all-purpose flour, or you can use double Tivo if you have that. In my experience, I like the normal all-purpose flour better, but it's really your preference. So, and then you're gonna crack 1 egg into the well that you've created. To create the well, as you saw, it's just dump it out and use your fingers to go around. Then you're gonna mix that 1 egg into the flour. So the ratio is 100 grams of flour to 1 egg. You can scale this up. I don't know how you would really scale it down, but if your egg is small, you can add a little bit of water. So I could tell that this pasta was going to be a little dry, so I added a little bit of water, and it's always easier to add water early. So if you want to make pasta for 4 people, you can do 400 grams of flour and 4 eggs. And you're just gonna mix it up and create this well and slowly incorporate some of the flour on the sides. So then you can keep doing that longer if you want, but here I decided to just use my bench scraper and start incorporating some of the flour a little more. And all you're gonna do is just chop it into the flour or chop it into the egg until it comes together like this. So it was a little bit wet and a little bit sticky, so how I brought it together was just by squeezing it, like you saw here. And it's pretty easy to do. And then you're just gonna knead it until it's a nice small, smooth dough ball. And now I'm gonna roll out the pasta. You can do this with a machine. Here I'm gonna do it the traditional way. And so you're just gonna go around it, rolling it out and making sure that there's a little bit of a hump at the center of it, so that when you're rolling it, it's more even. Because the center of it gets rolled out a little bit faster. So then you're gonna wrap it around your rolling pin, and then you're gonna do what you just saw me do there. You're just going to do this over and over until it's the thickness you want. This takes some practice to do, and so it's okay if you can't do it the first time. I'm draping it over the sides because the center got a little bit too thin, and then now I'm just gonna roll out the edges. You can see it getting thinner and thinner, and then eventually it's gonna be the thickness you want, and it's really up to you. For Sonengotzi, I normally do a little bit thicker than I would for anything else, just because you want it, because when you cut it, you want it to be a uniform shape. So now that it's to the thickness that I want, I'm just gonna dust it with some flour on both sides and let it dry out. This makes it easier to cut when I'm ready to cut it. Here it was dry enough, so I decided not to let it wait, and then I'm just gonna fold it like this, and then I can cut it with a knife. So once you fold out your dough, all you're gonna do is cut it up into relatively even pieces, not too thick, not too thin, and you should be left with a rectangular shaped pasta. And then here on the side, we have a video from when we were in Italy of a mother making fresh pasta for us. So she does the same process here, except for she rolls it a little bit thinner, and then she cuts it thicker and to be more like a fettuccine. So now I'm just gonna cook the pasta. Since it's fresh pasta, it cooks very quick. It probably only took a minute or two. And you can let it go longer and it'll only get firmer. And then eventually the egg proteins will break down and it'll become mushy. So it's a little more resilient than a wheat and water pasta. You can roll it out using a pasta roller like this, and then you're just gonna fold it over and then roll it, and then you're just gonna keep folding it and rolling it. This helps develop the gluten a little bit and get it nice and smooth before you cut it into your sheet. So now you just need to change the setting over and over. You just repeat this going over and over, and it eventually gets thinner and longer, and then once you get to the thickness you like, you can cut it out into your shape. So here I did a thicker, like a fettuccine. You're just gonna put the attachment on and put the handle on, and then you're just gonna roll it out, and it should just cut it for you. And then you're gonna toss your pasta with some flour and fluff it up a little bit like this so it's all mixed. And then you can, if you're gonna let it stand for a while, I would put quite a bit of flour on it, but if you're gonna cook it right away, you don't need to. We waited a bit, so we put some extra flour on it, but all you have to do now is just cook it, which is pretty simple. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.